I forgot I was live. I need to trim my hair. Holy split ends. And my shirt's inside out. Good job, good job, good job. Oh, I was going to put my lip stain on. I must beautify myself. Hold on a second. Might have the smallest lips in the world. I swear to God, you get this shit anywhere else, it stains. What's going on, Phoenix? Hey, I saw your friggin' message yesterday. Oh my gosh. You know I never pay attention to the fucking chat once I get into that channel. So I saw that I'm obviously hitting your timing pretty darn tootin' well, eh? Did it? Oh, it's not done yet. It's still working its out. I went and bought some girly shit the other day, Phoenix. You gotta do it one coat at a time, one coat at a time, one coat at a time. How's that fucking red deer, bud? Have you moved yet? How's life going, Phoenix? And I know you're not in Red Deer, but I know you're close. So just, I would never give your exact location out. And I forgot to put my precious jewels on, so just a second. What up, Sarah? Somebody put in the chat yesterday, why are you so greasy? Like greasy. I just got out of the shower. I'm just wet. I'm not, there's a grease all over me. I'm an idiot. All right, sorry about that. We're about to begin in a moment. Get your snacks, get your weed. This is my new mojito drink. It's by the Perrier of the Perrier, France. And it says less sugar. Low calorie. That's what it said, low calorie. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then my sister today, she's like, why don't you just make mojitos from scratch? And I'm like, okay, I think I tried to do that last year, and then I couldn't keep up with keeping fresh mint on. Like, fresh mint, please, fresh mint. Who the fuck just has fresh mint hanging around for, mojitos to drink all day? Like, what the fuck, right? So I'm going to plant it. I'm like, I need fresh mint on the regular, so I'm going to buy some mint plants and make this this shit myself, because I don't understand why they can't put sugar in things. Like, sugar's not the problem. Oh, okay. But what's nice about Perrier is instead of taking the sugar out and then putting aspartame in it, they just cut the sugar and didn't put aspartame in it. Oh, thank God. Like my lip stain is setting because it's wet on the can. Bullshit. Okay. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, everybody. As you know, these are general messages. Okay, so take it or leave it. Actually, this is kind of good. That is good. Fuck. Oh God, I bought this new shampoo. Oh, like for the like the way that like what the professionals use. Oh my God, my hair smells so freaking good. I'm gonna be taking whiffs of my hair here. Just give me a second. Okay, so we have the 8th house. There's Scorpio, and then we've got Gemini, and then the Sun. Gemini's communication, Mercury energy. Okay, I got this message the other day. It's like somebody might be having sex soon that hasn't possibly had sex for a while. You guys know me. I'm on like a gazillion years. Okay, I don't even know what sex is anymore. So that's why I'm allowed to talk about it, because I don't do it. So the hell do I even know about it anymore? It's all changed. Okay. Because the 8th house is intimacy, deep change. The Sun, energy, success, authenticity, achievement. Could be getting your message across pretty clear about something. I don't know, take what resonates and discard the rest. I think that was a rock that just fell, but I don't know because I can't see it. Rocks be falling everywhere, all over my shit. There's rocks everywhere. I went to a concert the other day and I forgot that I had rocks in my rooms. And crystals. Oh. And a 7-inch blade. So, you know, I had to clean my purse out before I went out the other night. Oh my God. Hey, I like that. We're keeping him. Fucking magician just showed up. He's showing his cards too, okay? So that's a flush. I think that's called a flush. I'm not a big cards gambler poker person, but I think that that's a flush. 10, Jack, King, Queen, Ace, I believe is a flush. Okay. Creating opportunities for romance. See what I'm saying? Okay, so sex is just going to be the analogy. Okay, like what would you have sex with? You would have sex with something that you wanted to connect with, something that you wanted to, I just heard obliviate. That seems like the wrong word, but like you want to tackle something, I guess you want to tackle something. It's like more or less maybe like for the connection. Okay, so give me this 8th house. Not working well as a team. See? Okay, so I don't know. You could have been like in a threesome or something like that, or what do you call those families that polygamists that have a like one husband and 14 wives? I don't know what they're called. I think they're called polygamists. You could have had somebody that she look at that, the Hierophant, like married a bunch of people or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm getting the 40-year-old virgin. where he finds this girl he really likes, but all of his friends are telling him not to go for it because he's a virgin. So, and then the one guy goes, you just need to bang, a bunch of them hood rats out. Just get it out. Just get it out. And then after you've done about 100 of them hood rats, then you go for the girl you like. Something like that. So these might be a bunch of hood rats. Oh, spirit. I don't know. Maybe this person is just, I don't know. Maybe you're about to deal with somebody that just is very detached. Okay. And maybe that's what's changing. They don't want to be detached anymore from people, or they don't want to have one night stands anymore, or they don't want to be in threesomes, or I just accidentally hit my little clay hat that I made, my little witch's hat. I just hit it. Hit it and quit it. Yeah, see? Okay, all right. We have 3 major arcanas out here, by the way, and only 4 cards. The Empress just showed up. It's like they're ready for the right one. She might have been a part of those girls, or like, I don't know. I don't really think she is, because she's upright and she looks a lot different than these people that are just waiting to grab whatever they can. All right, what's this Gemini energy? The Fool. See, the Fool is all about exciting new beginnings. Okay, and to come out from underneath Gemini, what's this? Okay. Like starting a new relationship, it's definitely, I don't know, someone's looking at you, you're looking at them, maybe you're both looking at each other, you're not in the same space though, because the backgrounds are different. Okay, so this Gemini energy, this Queen of Cups just showed up, and she is giving her coffee to him. Like, she's got the saucer, which means she's the one that picked up the coffee, and he's kind of grabbing it weird, like he's grabbing it from the bottom. So it makes it seem like there could be somebody coming into your life, okay, and because of how much compassion you have a lot of compassion for people, or for this guy. I don't know, so this guy might be this magician here. He's got a really good hand. That's what I mean. He's got a really, really good hand. So maybe you're about to meet somebody that is holding a really good position in life, and they see you as being ready to also be in that position, possibly. Could be a promotion. Like, this could be work. Taking the first step. Okay, so there is somebody who is restricted in this relationship. So somebody might have to come towards you, or you might have to go towards them, depending on how restricted you are in your life. Okay, like, say you work at home and somebody else works away from home or outside of their house or something, the person that works at home might be the one that has to possibly stretch themselves out a little bit because the other person doesn't have that type of schedule. So they can't just make plans right away. They have to schedule something. Whereas, so the person that works at home, they can kind of do whatever they want because they work from home. So they make their own hours. Okay. Where the other person doesn't. They're scheduled up. Woo, there's the King of Pentacles and the Hermit. Okay, so it's this king. This king, because I mean, by the time you get into your king position with the Pentacles, you've already passed the Ten of Pentacles, which means there's something that this king has invested in, which gives him the freedom. Okay, and the freedom to seek a deeper sense of purpose. Okay, so somebody they are looking at you or something like that as their next thing to do, like their next deeper purpose, their next mission. But I don't know if you know who this person is because they're kind of hidden. I just heard hidden in plain sight, but it doesn't mean that you can see them. Okay, what's this Sun? Stupid Matt. Hey, justice fell on the ground, of course. Justice would make me bend over and get it, as there are 11 people also in the chat. This is the 11th card in the Major Arcana. Okay, efforts. And, oh man, I was watching King of Queens last night. I was so bored, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put on something funny and fall asleep. So I was watching King of Queens, and Carrie has to go out and her dad is super bored. So she asks Doug to take her dad out because he's just sitting at home doing nothing. And Doug doesn't want to do it, but then he feels bad. So he goes, fine, I'll take your dad out with my friends and go and hang out with them. So he takes them out, whatever. They have this really weird night and Carrie gets home and they get home and she's like, oh my God, you took my dad out? And he's like, yeah, I didn't leave him at home. And she made a love night of passion for Mr. Doug Heffernan because he took care of her father. So she was extra pleasurable with him and gave him all Doug time, and Doug didn't have to do anything because she was so appreciative of what he did for her that, he just had to lay back and relax and enjoy the show. Okay, so there's this kind of notion that the effort that this person puts in won't be ignored, right? Even if you live like an hour away from this person or something, but you have to work. So this person decides, okay, well, even if you have the shittier apartment too or something, but they're like, you know what, I'll travel to them and I'll spend time with them because I know that they're busy. That goes a long way. Like that person who's working that can't, that has to kind of be catered to because they're working doesn't just take that and go like, yeah, you should be showing up where I am. You need to be doing this. I'm the busy one. They're more like, okay, well, now I'm going to make you dinner and I'm going to do your laundry and I'm going to make sure you're comfortable and I'm going to do everything that I can because you just came all the way here. Therefore, it seems to be, I just heard like a 50-50, which could be the sense of Gemini. Okay, with the two platforms. Okay, it kind of seems like Gemini, the way that Gemini works, the way that Mercury works is both parties have to communicate. Okay, that's the way that a balanced relationship would work. It kind of like this is weird because the 8, right, technically has 2 balls. Okay, and then Gemini technically has 2 pillars. And then the Sun technically has a dot in the middle and then a circle around it. So each one of these symbols on the dice is 2. Each is 2. They have 2. I mean, Gemini technically has 4 if you really want to break it down like that. But still, 4 is broken down into 2 2s. Okay, and then I can't help but ignore, I was going to ignore it, but I won't. This bitch on the bottom of the deck with these lies, okay? And like crying, really? You're gonna cry after you take your fake fucking mask off and you've been lying to everybody and you're gonna cry? You got tears underneath that shit? Okay, so I feel like you're the opposite of this person. Okay, you show this person compassion where this other person lies. Okay, so obviously the person who's lying isn't brave enough, isn't mature enough to tell the truth. And maybe this person, this magician, has been used to dealing with liars, people that have this fake mask on and lie, and then they take it off and then you cry? You just got caught in a lie and you're going to cry? That's narcissistic, right? There's different ways to see a narcissist. It's not always... Look at that, perseverance. I feel like somebody has tried quite hard to get to the bottom of the things, to break the surface, okay, of possibly what this person was doing and how hard they did hide, okay? So when this person meets you, they have this hand, okay, that they don't show to people because they know people wear masks. So they don't know who's got the mask on and who doesn't. It's hard for them to tell who's fake and who's real. Okay, so once they find out that you're real, that's a big... I just heard that's an understatement. So you're so real that you're authentically just exactly what they are looking for. Exactly what they've been trying. They tried so hard to get this person to take their mask off, and they tried so hard to get them to reveal what they were. And as soon as they did, they started crying about it. Right? As if they wanted sympathy for all the lies, all the betrayal, all the bullshit, right? Like, you want sympathy after that? Like, what the fuck? Okay? So, I mean, and if this is you and you've just dealt with like back to back betrayal with fucking fake liars, I think maybe that's why justice could be here too, because there's something else that's better for you. But this compassion is huge. Understanding something, like to understand that people work, to understand that people just can't pick up the phone and fucking, talk to you whatever you want, right? It has to work both ways. It can't just be one person getting everything while the other person doesn't. It's not going to work that way. Okay? They're both going to need to do 50-50, or the one person that has to drive, the one person that has to travel, if they have to do any more than that, it's going to stress them out, right? And the person on the ground, if they don't do anything, then they're going to take advantage of that other person and make that other person do everything, sit on their ass, and they're going to lose it. Okay, so there's a feeling like, there's the sun, there's a feeling like somebody, okay, so another analogy would be, this always reminds me of, I'm pretty sure it is a valley in between all the mountains, but it always reminds me of wine country because, in California and the valleys, it's where they grow all of the wine, all the grapes, everything. So I don't know if this is supposed to be California, but it reminds me of it anyways. So the way that this analogy would be is to plant the grapes and then to, we know that the sun, okay, will do her job, but you have to water it. Okay, if the rain's not coming, you have to make sure that you're going out there and watering everything because that sun is going to burn it all up. It's going to destroy it. It's so powerful. Okay, so maybe this person, this magician is really, really powerful. Okay, so you have to add your emotion. You have to, maybe that's why you're coming up as the Queen of Cups. This king is on fire, okay, and you have to put them out. Or you have to have the water that they need when they get there, or they're going to be angry and they're going to be pissed off. And they're, because not everybody likes to travel. Not everybody likes to get up and go and jump in their car, okay, and sit in fucking traffic waiting for some bitch to get off work. Not everybody wants to do that, okay? So the fact that they do it, they deserve a lot from it, if that's what they're going to do, okay? And maybe you'll be the one that realizes and recognizes the truth that holds. Because maybe this person doesn't do this kind of thing. Maybe they don't travel for people. Maybe they're expected to everybody just come to them and work around their schedule. And even though they work at home, they're kind of like, well, whenever you can get here, this is where I am. Maybe they don't move. Okay, maybe they don't move much. And it's kind of like, well, if you don't move, then we're never going to see each other ever. Okay. So I don't know. There's a little bit of a death, a change, and then shared resources in this 8th house. So that makes me feel like it is shared. Like it's not one person's going to make you do something. There's groceries. And then the other person, the person that's at work brings home fucking groceries. They're a goddamn nun. Of course they're going to give back to you. So maybe somebody feels like, okay, or maybe you feel like there's going to be a relationship that comes into your life that you're going to have to give way too much at. Okay, whatever it is, if you're a single parent, maybe you're looking at getting a dog or something. Maybe you live alone and you're like, I want something around, but then I have to come home and I have to take care of it and I have to let it out and I have to feed it or it's going to die and I have to show it love or it's going to hate me. Like there's something about that. It's going to take effort, but the love that you get back from the animal, the camaraderie that you get back, the security that you get back is why you get it, right? Of course, there's nothing that you're going to be able to acquire in your life that you don't have to work for. Whether or not it's work that you enjoy or it's work that you hate, you have to determine that. And if you have to go somewhere, like I have to travel right now. Every day I travel. I drive 2 hours. All right. 1 hour there, 1 hour back. And I fucking love it. I don't mind it at all. Because by the end, honestly, it's like a 35-minute drive, but with traffic and cottagers and stuff. Sometimes it takes 45, 50 minutes. And then I get to work usually 10 minutes ahead of schedule. And honestly, I feel like the drive is 20 minutes long. I live in the back roads. I take the back country roads. I take the hills. I go up and down. My stomach drops. I drive 100 miles an hour. I fucking have a blast. I get to work. I do my job. I come home. I don't mind that. Right now, it doesn't seem to bother me. I don't, if my shift's 4 hours, I'm gone for 6. If my shift is 6 hours, I'm gone for 8. If my shift is 7 hours, I'm gone for 9. It's just what works. But I'm okay with that, right? If you're okay with it, because of what my job gives me back, what I get when I get there, I work with great people. The money is great. It's exactly what I need. I'm not going to push it and look for better when I just got something I'm like, I'm in 100%. I'm not going to, there isn't too much that you have to do in order to get me on your side. As long as you pull 50-50, which this company does by fucking far, they've got my back. You have my back. I will fucking die for you. That's the way I work. Okay. But sometimes that company or, it's usually a company has to show me that I'm valuable and I'll show you what I can do. But if you don't give it back to me because I know that I can fucking sling 100 drinks in like fucking under 10 minutes, easy. Not a lot of people can do that. Like I said, I said I went to a concert the other day. I got 1 drink. You should have saw the bartenders. For one, they were like 20 years old. Okay, what's nothing wrong with that. The one guy was super funny. He was pretty moving, he's moving okay. But the other guy was moving like molasses. Okay, I'm thinking you've got 50 people around your bar. Why are you there was a point where he just stood there, put his hands on his hips, looked around, took a deep breath, stared right at me, and then went to the next person and goes, what do you want? Oh my God. I almost wanted to jump behind the bar and fucking do it all myself. Seriously, okay? Trust me, there are skills that you have. There are things that you acquire, and you can watch other people do it, and they fucking suck, okay? So recognize how powerful you are, how talented you are, okay? Whatever hand it is that you're holding, okay? Somebody needs to, alley up. Okay, they need to alley up their standards. And by allying up their standards, it opens the possibility of them doing more work, but getting more back out of it. Because now their standards are lifted. It's not the 20-minute drive to get a blowjob. It's, okay, let's drive for a fucking, I got Celine Dion. I drove all night to get to you. Okay, maybe you're going to drive all night to get to somebody. Maybe we're going to do, you know how fun that is in the beginning of a relationship to almost kill yourself trying to see them all the time? Okay. It's a funny beginning. Okay. There are funny beginnings of relationships if you actually care and want to do it. If you don't, then you want the easy that's around the corner. You can pick it up, you can drop it off, you can order it, you can sell it, okay. And it's just always going to be there. Other things you got to wait for, other things you have to try for, other things you have to order and wait for the delivery, wait for, little bit more of a delivery fucking charge, all that shit, right? Everything is different. It's just whether or not that's the standard that you have set for yourself. Because if it is, damn. Somebody's getting something back. 50-50. Okay, and if it's not the full 50-50, calm down, okay? Be 60-40, relax, okay? Not everything can be fair down to the last drop, okay? It's impossible for things to be 1000% fair, but if you're balanced and you know what you're giving is what you're getting, even though it doesn't feel that way because you want to put it on a statistic list, fine, yeah, I did more work. But, you know, my partner was there through it all. So did I really do a lot of work? Because that's how my sister and I see driving, okay? Like, because we share a car, and if we're going to go somewhere, for the most part, like, I mean, if we're driving out of town or something, we'll go together. I mean, there's very rarely do we go on excursions without each other. It's just, we just feel safer with the other one, and it's boring to just do everything by yourself. Okay, so especially with that concert, like I said, that I went to, I had to drive home at 2 a.m. But what my sister and I do, okay, is because one of us will never cop out on the other, we drive together. Okay, so yeah, I might be behind the wheel, but she's watching everything else, right? She's watching people come out from behind me. She's watching the side. She's watching the sign. She's watching things that I can't watch because I'm on the road. I'm watching everything, okay? But I'm also driving. So we always do this thing 50-50 where even if she's driving or if I'm driving, we're never driving alone. There's the other one's always watching. We don't sleep when the other one's driving. Like, oh man, we used to drive. We've driven back and forth across Canada multiple times. And, you have to take this sleeping time, right? You have to rest, close your eyes while the other one drives. It's very hard for one of us to close their eyes while the other one drives because we always drive together. Always. We're always looking at each other's backs. We're always, like I said, looking around. We're always double checking the speed. Sometimes the speed changes and it'll go from 60 to 90 and the other person didn't notice. I'll be like, hey, it went up to 90 and it's like, oh, fuck. Or hey, drop down to 50. Oh, you know what the best is? When I used to drive around the mountains in Alberta and I would hit the avalanche sign, it would say, you are now leaving avalanche country. And I'd be like, when did I enter it? Did I just enter it or have I been in it for the last couple kilometers and not known? Okay. So, oh man, that was itchy nose. I drove all night to get to you. That's all I can hear is Celine Dion. I listened to Celine Dion. For most of my life, my mom really liked listening to her. And I went to see my mom in New Brunswick one winter, and of course my sister came. She was driving. I think I was going to stay with my mom for a little bit out there, and then my sister was going to fly back. So we drove out there together, and as soon as we crossed into Quebec, we decided we were going to stay because I think it's like a 17-hour drive to get to New Brunswick. But in the winter, sometimes we'd stop in Quebec. Just so then, there's only 8 hours of sunset. So, right, so there's only so we stayed in Quebec. I remember we checked into the motel or the hotel. We get in, we get this giant pizza. We're mowing this pizza. We turn on the fucking TV and Renee Charles died. And he had died that day, probably maybe a couple hours prior. And my sister and I figured it out a couple hours prior to him dying. We had just gotten into Quebec because we had been traveling in Quebec for I think it takes 7 hours to cross Quebec, 6 or 7 hours. Maybe not that long, but we were in for a few hours and because we had to stop. We didn't make it to New Brunswick and he had died. And I went, oh my God, I think he died the second we got to Quebec. I don't know what kind of man he was. He always seemed like this well-respected man, but he also married a woman that was 40 years younger than him. And there was this picture that I saw of Renee and Celine when they first started working together, and Celine was 14 years old and Renee was 35. Oh my God, how fucking disgusting. And then she hooked up with him when she was like 17 years old. Wow. Okay. That just has like pedophile written all over it, but I'm not going to go down that road. But I don't know if Rene was a good man or a bad man, but the fact that he died almost the second I crossed into Quebec, I felt like was necessary. So that's I think I killed Rene Charles just by crossing into Quebec. My sister has never let me forget it. I was already doing my mediumship. My sister wasn't. Her third eye was not open. She was closed. And she even said, "You just got here and he died." And I went, "Do you think it was me?" And she kind of looked at me like, "Do you not think it was you?" I think it was me that killed him. You guys know I have a problem with old, dirty men. What up, Steven? Thanks for being here, buddy. You were always at work, and I feel so bad that you're at work and you're on my channel trying to help me. Look, once I talk about it once, it just keeps coming up over and over and over again. SEX, upon your arrival. You see what I mean? A little travel time never killed anybody. Oh. It probably can, but not if you're on divine timing, it's not going to. Actually, the last time I traveled was from Cuba. And I got somehow into first class. I don't know how that even happened. And then I fell asleep because I hadn't slept the entire week because I was on vacation. So I'm not on vacation, I'm working. And when we drove home, drove home, there was a fucking halo over top and underneath our plane the entire time. I took pictures of it. It was hard to kind of, because you could see the halo like around the plane. Oh my God, it was the weirdest fucking ride of my life. That was the last plane ride I ever took. And that was, oh my God, 7 years ago. I haven't flown on a plane for like 7 years, 8 years, something like that. Okay. So, if you have plane arrangements, there might be some SEX along with that ticket. You know what I mean? Woo! My nose is gonna get itchy. And then there's spirit. I got goosebumps all over my body. Wow. Okay. Is that all right? Bouncer. Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Ace of Cups was in reverse. This Bouncer card, as you guys know, this is my dead ex-boyfriend who used to always bounce all in the clubs. I'm a bouncer. I bounce. Okay, so Gondosh is the reason why I did that card. It actually says Gondosh security down here. Things you do when you're drunk. Okay, so Bouncer with this Ace of Cups in reverse. I feel like there's possibly something that somebody was escorted out from. Okay, you know what the Bouncer does? It takes you out of the club. Okay, and you're not allowed to be there anymore. So somebody might have got kicked out of somewhere. Okay, and that was panic. We had this message, I think, yesterday, where somebody postponed something because they thought it was about sex, and it wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with sex, but they thought it was. And then it came out as like a serial killer or something. So somebody got super worried about something or super anxious about something, and it like, because the worrying and panic and obsessing is right here. So somebody got worried or anxious about something, and so they took an opportunity away from themselves in some way. Okay, so now this plane could be that opportunity coming back around again. Okay, so there's dreams. I thought so. So you could be having dreams about something that you missed out on. And again, sex is just the analogy. Plane is just the analogy. Bouncer is just the analogy of you losing out on something because of possibly somebody else's anxiety or somebody else's worry or possibly even your own. Okay. But the dreams, your dreams might be setting the record straight in your head. Okay, 12:12 on the clock. The fly on the wall. The fly on the wall represents that spirit has heard somebody saying something. Okay, whether they were talking about you, whether they were talking about this experience, whatever it was, you were involved with something that has to do with a dream. Whether or not it was a dream, a fantasy that they had to do this, something like that. And spirit knows, because they've heard them talking about it, okay, that they were super worried about something, and whatever it was that they were worried about, it's still on its way. So maybe they thought that like resources weren't coming, or something that they needed to help them wasn't, the package just wasn't going to get delivered. Trust me, it's going to get delivered. Okay, it just might have been delayed. Planes love to get delayed. Okay, so the plane is delayed. Private property and alert. But doesn't kill you, slowly eats you alive. Somebody could have accused you of cheating on them, and you're like, what the fuck? You even might have like packed your shit, moved out, fucking stopped, ghosted this person, okay? Especially if you're dating somebody that doesn't live around you, they might have accused you, or you might have accused them of something. It was a lie. No, I don't think anybody did anything. Okay, or if they did, maybe somebody could have possibly slept with somebody behind your back or something like that. They could be panicking about it because they think you're going to find out about it, so now they're just going to tell you, so then you don't find out from somebody else that they did something. I don't know, it seemed like you were lined up for something and it got taken away. Okay? And now this person, whoever took something away from you, possibly doesn't know how to fix it. Prophecy. See, remember, did I say ghosted you? The ghost just showed up. So they might have ghosted you. Because something going on in their head. Maybe they can see the future. Maybe they had some type of dream about you. And then when they saw it, they thought that the dream was coming true. So they ran away. It's almost like what I just saw in my third eye was somebody ordering a dog, okay, off the internet, maybe. And then the dog has to take the plane to the person who just bought them. They just walk away and leave the dog there. Like, it's kind of mean, to be honest. Like a mail order bride, like you order one and then they get there and you're like, ugh, see ya. It's a part of... Oh, my senses are all tweaking. Like somebody's touching my face. God, I'm itchy. My eyes are itchy. My nose is itchy. Something's itchy. Okay. I mean, the way that I'm kind of seeing this is there's obviously some negative energy around possibly a masculine energy. And it's like they're kind of getting fucked with. They're emotional. Born alone, die alone. I don't know if they're all emotional about death. You guys know I love death. I've been trying to die since I was born. Death doesn't scare me. It never has, and it probably never will, because I've never done anything karmically wrong. So when I die, I know I don't have any debt to pay. I don't have any bills to pay. I don't have anything, right? I'll just get whisked away to probably Elvish country in this lovely crystal town, okay? I'm not going to hell. I'm not going anywhere bad. I just know it. So I've never been scared of death. I think I've walked with death a while. I think my sister knew that death was in our last apartment where I was living at this meth house for a couple years. And this lady moved in and just started cranking music all night long. And my sister has to work in the morning. She has to get up at like 6 a.m. sometimes. And so she was just waking us up being all this asshole. So I finally called the cops on her. And she actually had put a hit out on us. Like she had planned, two people had told me she had planned to have us robbed. She had it planned to do something to our snakes, do something to their enclosures, like smash their enclosures up. Just because I called the cops on her one time. She didn't get a fine. Nothing happened. She was just told to turn her fucking greasy, disgusting fucking music off. Okay, she was like a 60-year-old fucking prostitute. It was fucking sad and yet disgusting at the same time. And, you know, she just started making our lives a living hell that all of a sudden now you want to hurt us. Like you want to plan on doing something to us when we're just trying to sleep. Are you kidding? Okay. So there could be the actions of somebody else that are trying to hurt you in some way. Okay. This warlock, I don't know. This could be a pedophile. I don't know. Okay. With this sex energy and with witchcraft and panicking, maybe somebody knows that you know that they did something to you and you're going to come fucking... This person could be dead. You know, a lot of people don't talk about their sexual abuse until the family member is dead. I talked to multiple people about it. Multiple people have said, wow, you said something while the perp is still alive. Most people don't. It's just a security thing. It's people go crazy, especially when you reveal their skeletons. Okay. Their skeletons. Somebody definitely has shit in their closet. Okay. Yo, I'm totally unhinged. I'm trying to get my brain right. The time to beat your ass and bang your nana in the same night. This person is a little fucking crazy. You guys know me. I tell you all the time. I am loco. Okay, if there's anybody crazy in this fucking room, it's me, and I know it. But I'm crazy for a fucking reason. I'm crazy to defend myself. Okay, so there could be something, somebody knows something. Okay, and whatever has to do with this, it's almost like it has to happen. You know, the truth has to come out. The roles have to be reversed. Somebody has to stop being so fucking emotional about something and grow a fucking pair, grow up, talk about what they fucking did to somebody. Okay. And I told you guys, last story, my ex-boyfriend who, I was actually thinking about him this morning, murder. He became a cop, strictly because of what happened when he was a small boy. And he was violated by his hockey coaches. This poor kid, you know, he actually grew up thinking he was gay because his body had experienced things while he was doing certain things to men that he thought, you know, because his body was having a reaction, he thought he was gay. He thought he liked it when really it was just a natural response from his body. has nothing to do with the fact that he was engaged in anything. He was like 7, 8 years old. Okay. Usually 8-year-old little boys don't want to go and fuck things. Okay. Or suck old men off. Okay. So he got this notion that he was gay, and he became a cop, and he was a very aggressive cop. Okay, he was doing a good thing. Obviously, he's in the streets of Toronto. The things he saw, just one day talking to him and the things that he saw, I almost died. Like I don't know how you do that job. Like the things that the kids that he saw killed, the kids murdered kids. It was so many things with kids and women and abusive husbands. And like people kill more than you think. Okay. It's not just, doesn't take some psychopath Charles Manson to kill. It could just be an overworked man who's drunk and it's too hot. Plain and simple, it's too hot in his apartment. Okay, and his wife fucking makes something on the stove and heats it up even more, and he fucking cracks. Okay, it doesn't take a psychopath to kill somebody. It takes somebody who just goes off on the wrong edge. Okay, call it psychopathic, call it crazy, whatever it is. Everybody has it. It's a glitch. It's to suggest that you don't have it is a lie, because we all do. We all angry, we can all snap, we all have rage, we all have tendencies, we all have brainwashed preconceived notions on how you're supposed to react to things because your parents reacted that way, therefore you should react that way even though it doesn't bother you, right? We just get brainwashed. We get brainwashed too much, and then we don't really realize, like, do we even want to respond like this? Does this even bother us? Like, because I know it bothered my mom, but like, does it really bother me? Probably not. Okay. But so many people will put the weight of their problems onto their kids and then make their kids walk on eggshells because they don't like a certain thing. Therefore, you could never fucking do it, because if you make mom lose her shit, you'll be grounded or you'll get beat or something will happen to you. Okay? So, I'm not sure if... Yeah, okay. So there was I don't know exactly where that story was going, or if I just told it because I now completely wiped it and don't remember it. But when I found out about what my stepfather had done to me, like once I put the pieces of the puzzle together, I lost it. I almost like if he hadn't been 17 hours away from me, I would have killed him. I would have drove to his house and killed him. There's a reason why you suppress so then you survive. And my mother moving my stepfather away, and not just moving him away, but moving him to the other side of the country, I think she did to try to keep him alive, because I think she knew that he was a monster, and I think she knew something was going to happen. And she did it out of fear. She moved out of fear, and she's always said that. She didn't really know why she moved, but she did it for a reason, and it was just really to keep her husband alive for another 10, 12 years. That's all it did. Okay, it kept her secrets hidden and her pedophile husband alive. Okay. And when I went and spoke to it, obviously my mother shut me off. My father didn't say anything to me. My family wouldn't talk to me. So I went to the only person that I had held on to was this owner, this manager that I had worked for. And she was just this, hard ass woman, just smokes a fucking pack of cigarettes a day. And I went and spoke to her and about what had happened. And I was like, I just always saw her as a mom. And so I was just losing my mind. And she was like, why did you come to me? And I said, I don't know why I came here. I'm like, I needed to talk to somebody. And then she goes, well, my grandfather did that to me. And she goes, and I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. And she had a bunch of cousins, and nobody came forward until this grandfather died. And then as soon as the grandfather died, there was like 6 girls that stepped forward, 6 women now at this point, that had all said that grandfather did something to them. And little did I know, she was also highly affiliated with like 100 Hells Angels. So when I had this conversation with her about everything, and then she told me what happened to her, she looks at me, and like, she looks at me hard, and she goes, is there something you want me to do about this? And, Whitney, not exactly all there sometimes. I actually knew at that point exactly what she was saying to me. And I looked up at her and I go, well, that's going to be a really hard price to pay. And she goes, baby, for you, it'd be free. Oh my God, I could cry right now. This woman just knew that I had been tortured. Like, I'm going to cry again. I just keep crying, honestly. This has been a rough week with spirits, but she, because she knew me younger, and she knew that I was so fucked up, and she never, You know, she didn't realize why. Like, she obviously, when you're fucked up, like, other people will notice it. They'll be like, there's something wrong with you. But when you're in your energy, nobody can ever say there's something wrong with you, because you think you're just acting like everybody else, and, you know, there's something wrong with the world, until somebody genuinely looks at you and goes, there's something there. Like, and you have to see it. If you don't, it's going to kill you. And this thing has almost killed me multiple times, right? Because if you don't surrender to those ghosts in the closet, if you don't open that up, if you don't end it in some way and get your closure, you will have that gun in your hand pretty quickly. And you will go and start hurting people. Okay? Because there's no outlet for you, right? Somebody got away with something. And, you know, when there's no justice, it's really hard for people to move on. Okay, so maybe that's why this brain cloud is here. This brainstorm, they don't know how to deal with this. Okay, they don't know how to deal with this abuse. They don't know how to deal with what happened to them. I don't know. But somebody is pretty emotional. And like, if you've been emotional throughout your life, there's a reason. There's a valve that's pulling those tears. Okay, and it's getting you crying for a reason. And I always see, when I cry, I always see it as a release, because there's so many things that hold on to your feelings, and they hold on to your emotions. And if you don't let it out, then, and cleanse yourself, right? Because cleansing yourself is, you know, you can do it in a lot of different ways, but cleansing your water in your body is a huge thing, right? And when you cry, if there's something that is attached to your water, you will cry it out. And that's your way to get things to exit your body that you don't want there. Okay? Oh, who's talking shit, Steven? Ha, my mom's last name is Miller, so clearly you're a fucking monster. Is this bitch writing? Denise Miller, you can use your FBI bureau training on this phone. I don't know what this fucking bitch is talking about. FBI shit. What are you talking about, woman? Well, you have been told to leave by my moderator, and I stand by my moderator for making that decision. So anyways, people, suppressed emotions do nothing. They do not do anything for you. They do not do anything for the people around you other than keep everybody comfortable while you drown. Okay? Hey, there's Jack. That's my first beta fish. Actually, technically my second one. But honestly, he used to chase everything around in that fucking tank because he owned it. Okay? And he used to chase everything around. And that's the thing, is maybe there is somebody that chased you around your whole life. Okay? There's a reason why monsters chase little children around. It's so then you don't turn around and say to them what they did. So they continually chase you around, torture you, okay, try to throw you off, try to scare you, try to keep you vulnerable. Like one thing that Craig did, my stepfather did, Craig William Miller, he's now dead, okay, he used to move us around. And as soon as we got comfortable, we had to move. And then we got comfortable again, we had to move. So when I put the complaint in and went to charge him with doing what he did to me, and I had to talk to an officer about it, we kind of went through a little bit. And I was like, well, I don't really remember. I'm like, we moved around a lot. And he goes, why'd you do that? And I go, well, because he always wanted to move around. And then you could just look at him and he goes, all right, keep you in trauma. And then he just kept writing it down. And then I remember when Craig, right after he fucking put his dick in my mouth when I was 3 years old, bought me a puppy. He bought me a dog. That dog, Max, lived for 18 years and slept beside me every single night. He bought me my guardian angel to watch him and put him on justice bench 30 years later. Okay, if your monster bought you a pet, he just bought a nice little recording device to prove everything he ever did to you. So be careful with people who buy you things that have eyes, okay? Because really what they're saying is, I can't stop mistreating you, so I have to now buy you something with eyes to watch the fact that I'm abusing you. Happens with kids, happens with dogs, happens with cats, happens with fucking lizards, happens with everything. Okay, people will back themselves into corners and not remember what they did to you and then try to buy you something to buy your love and to buy your anything. And it just gets you more into, well, they didn't do anything to me. They bought me this, they bought me that. Clearly they didn't do anything to me because they bought me all this stuff and they love me so much. Yeah, they buy you things and try to fuck you up so then you don't remember. It's not that hard, okay? So anyways, Whitney's going to stop crying now over the dead people that are in her house. I cried again this morning. Holy crap, this message came through from this man. Oh my God. Wow. You know, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I suggest you do, because on Instagram, there are a lot of messages that come through my heart, and I will reach out on Instagram. Like, I mean, Wolfgang knows that. I always talk to Wolfgang about shit if there's messages for him. I just have a tendency of reaching out through Instagram with these messages, because sometimes they come through so strong that it actually, the message that came through this morning, it's triggered by this song that this man knows is written about him, and he's really emotionally fucked up about dying on his son. So every time this song plays, this man must be here because I've been crying. So he is so fucked up over dying that I keep crying. So I had to get that message out to the person that needed it, because obviously I thought it was like a universal message until I determined it was actually just for one person and one person only. And Spirit will work that way. There are different messages that come through me that are specifically dedicated for people. It's how Spirit works, okay? And so I have to say it's a general message, but always realize if it speaks to you full, like directly, it's probably a reason. Okay, so peace out. Have a wonderful day. whitneymoonshine@gmail.com for your personal readings. And I will catch you, catch you on the flip side sometime, most likely tomorrow. But, oh yeah, it's tomorrow, Friday? Yeah, it is. Oh shit. I don't know. I will be back though. All right, you always know me. Bounce and click that notification button so at least you know. And thank you for liking the video, okay? Peace, homies.